Hi, this is Wendy from the River Center Branch Library, and I'm going to demonstrate how to make a beaded keychain that contains the message "Stay safe" in Morse code. So let's take a look at what's in your kit. You're going to have 3 different bags of beads labeled dots, dashes, and empty spaces. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I've just put them in some little cups here so it'll be easier to use. You'll also have some craft thread and a key ring and a Morse code chart. So what we do in this project is we are using beads to represent the dots and dashes that make up Morse code. Step 1 is going to be to take your chart and let's go ahead and put our beads out for the first word, stay. So you'll notice for the S, you have 3 dots, and we're going to be using pink today to represent our dots. For the letter T, you have 1 dash, and 2 beads of the same color, in this case blue, will represent a single dash. So we have our ST, our A requires 1 dot and 1 dash, so we'll have 2 blue beads to make our 1 dash here. And then Y requires a dash, a dot, and 2 more dashes, like this. Now, the way this works, you'll notice in the finished product here, the letters are told downward. The letters are read downward. So this is your S, T, A, Y going down. And then we have a line of green going across that represents a break between the 2 words. And then we have S, A, F, E going down. So that's the pattern that we'll be using. Okay, so let's go ahead and thread our keychain. Take the 2 ends like this, get a nice loop in the end, and put 2 ends through. And for the loop that's coming around, just go ahead and put the ends through. We're going to make a knot. Go ahead and snug that up. Okay, now we're ready to weave. I'm going to separate the 2 ends, and you'll want to do that as well, so keep those guys separated. So here we go. You want to pay careful attention as you do your rows to make sure that you're doing your letters in the correct sequence. So our first word is stay, so we're going to do a dot for the S, first part of the dash, a dot for the A, and the first part of the dash for the Y. Okay, notice that I have gone, in beading this, I went left to right, and now I'm going to take the other end of the thread, and I'm going to weave it back in the opposite direction, going right to left, like this. Pull that through, make a loop, go ahead and get it snug, work with it a little bit, get it nice and fitted against your knot in the keychain, or the key ring, like this. Now these guys don't hold their shape very well until you get a couple of rows going, so let's keep working. Alright, so we're ready to make our second row, so we're going to go S again. We need 1 more dot for our S. Let's get this guy back up here where he belongs with the S. We're going to do our second part of the dash for the T, our first part of the dash for the A, and our second part of the dash for the Y. So now we have our second row, and we're ready to weave in the opposite direction. that. Okay, now it's going to start getting a little easier for this to hold its shape. Third row, our last stop for the S. Now notice we're all done with the T. So what we do now is we start using the empty green ones, or the green ones, to show empty space. So we're going to put a green one here to go under the T to show that we're done with that letter. We have our last bead for our A and our dot for the Y. And we're still working down our list for the Y. Okay, so now we weave in the opposite direction like this. This one's a little unruly. Here we go. Now, we have our first 3 rows done. So what we'll do from this point on for this first word is we'll continue to add green until we can complete the rows needed to spell out the Y in the downward column. Now that you have your stay written, be sure to put one line of green all the way across to show a complete break between the 2 words. Let's do our second word. So now we're going to spell safe. So again, we need 3 dots for the S. One dot and 1 dash for the A. Two dots, dash, and a dot for the F, and 1 dot for the E. So there we have our words. Both of our words are spelled. And now you're just ready to tie it off. So go down here to the bottom and tie it just like you would a shoelace. Be careful to keep it gentle so that it doesn't pull your pattern. And double knot it so that it will be sure to stay in place. And you're ready to take some scissors and clip. All set.